Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Parker Zazen back again. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you on this Sagat release week. I've really been enjoying playing Sagat. It's been pretty tight. And I've been watching a lot of Sagat footage, and one of the things I've been most curious about is pro players' usage of Tiger Knee. And I'm seeing people get beat by Tiger Knee in neutral, and I'm also seeing them get beat off block string. So, like, this is a common situation I was seeing that Bonchan was doing. And he was getting +4 here and annihilating people's drive meter. I would literally see him sometimes do this, right? Like 2 or 3 times in a row and just kill people. I thought, this can't be right, right? This can't be right. And so I wanted to explore Knee today, and I wanted to talk specifically about your options against Knee when he just does it in neutral, like this. You know, how you can prevent the plus frames and how you can even punish him. And then also when he does it off a button, like what are your options here? So let's get right into it. First thing to know, which I'm sure everybody knows, but we might as well mention it, if the opponent is crouching, this is almost always going to be plus. As long as it hits on his downward trajectory, you see he jumps up and comes back down, as long as it hits on the down part, it'll always be plus. And that's true for all the versions. Here's heavy, it's plus. Alright, if he does it really close, where it's on the up part of the trajectory, it's minus. -8, -7. This one is actually +4 because it has 2 different hitboxes on it. That's only if he's crouching. If he's standing, even though it hits on the way down, it's not punishable, right? If it hits on the way down, it's not punishable, but it is minus. That hits on the way up, very punishable. Hits on the way down, not so punishable. Hits on the way up, super punishable. Hits on the way down, not so punishable. And in fact, you've also seen that these can be plus, right? This one's 0. Probably right. Let's see if I'm good. Right here, I think will be +1. Ah, it was +2. I lied. I think you can even get this thing to be +3 with immaculate spacing. Maybe not. Okay, medium is pretty easy, actually, to get to be +2. Or +1, whatever. You get your turn. +3 there. And heavy, you can do it. You know, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Big thing you're looking for here as a Sagat player or as somebody who's defending against Sagat, if it's hitting on the way down. If it's hitting on the way down, it's minus. If it's hitting on the way down, it's safe, I'm sorry, or plus. If it's hitting on the way up, it's minus. Alright, so Sagat players are going to try to do this. And the reason this is good is you'll see that light knee here, by far the first one for neutral, it is 14 frame startup. Pretty good. So 14 frame startup means that it's going to be very difficult to just DI on reaction. Now you might set up a dummy to just do this, and you're like, oh, I can DI this. The problem is if he's doing other things, you know, jumping or throwing fireballs or whatever, and you're just like ready to spam DI, that's not going to work out for you. On the other hand, the other ones, medium and heavy, are both super reactable. Like there, I'm waiting for him to be in the air and then hitting it. And you can, you know, you have so much time to react to this and hit it with DI. So the big trick about DIing this in neutral is being able to tell the difference between light knee, like that, I would have got blown up. You see it was not punished counter. And the other knees, which you can blow up. So here's the trick for you that I think is going to be helpful for some folks. When Sagat does heavy knee, he yells Tiger Knee. When he does medium, he yells Tiger Knee. When he does light, he does not yell Tiger Knee. Pop quiz, what does he yell? Knee. So if he says Tiger, he's doing medium or heavy. Now one thing that I've started to practice, which I think is going to end up being pretty reliable if you're locked in, is if you hear him say Tiger, you can DI it. There, I messed it up. Okay, I do think that'll be reliable over time. So if you're looking to DI knee in neutral, I think you have a lot of time to do that if you're listening for that audio cue of Tiger, something that you can practice if you want. Once you start blowing him up for medium knee, and you're hitting them with the combo, you know, you've been working on your Sagat combos, whatever, you're blowing people up, they're going to stop doing medium and heavy to get in, which are easier to make plus than light, and they're going to start doing light. Well, the thing, of course, is light has 18 frames of recovery. So once you've DI'd him once, look for him to do light, and now it's just about spacing, and you can kill people. Right, that's a cool combo here. They go like this into something. Okay, so this is super whiff punishable as long as you're at the right spacing. My only advice here is wait for it to whiff. Don't whiff in anticipation because you might get blown up, like seeing it. Wait for it to finish the animation and then go. You know, whatever. Okay? So whiff punish light knee once you've punished heavy and medium knee after you've done a little bit of practice. Now, you don't always want to DI. Sometimes you just want to beat this outright. Let me show you that. We'll start with light knee. If you try to stand jab it, I'm really trying to find the timing that works. There is a timing that works. That's traded. Right, this is really rough. And you might do this and you're like, dude, I can't check this. But if you use a button that's crouching, like a crouch medium punch, for example, it's so much more reliable. And the reason for that is, if I'm crouching, if you want to follow my mouse here for just a second, if it'll show up. Yeah, here. When I'm crouching, he kind of comes through this area and comes up and then comes back down. But that hurt box that he has is more under than him than on top of him. And in fact, the knee part is the hitbox that's trying to hit you. By crouching, you kind of avert that. So let me do the exact same drill. He's just going to do light knee. But if I use crouch medium punch instead, right, you can hit it out much easier. You can even get caught if you want. Whatever. I'm actually curious if this works. I'm gonna try it one more time. I think it might. Okay. So anyways, whatever character you have, use a crouching button to check this in neutral. And if I just set him to do all of them randomly and fast, you know, I'll kind of check most of them. There are spaces where heavy, because of the slow startup, you'll get got. But for most spaces, like the crouch button will work. Right. And, you know, you can try different buttons with your character. There are some weird ones. The timing is so difficult because light knee starts up in 14 and heavy knee starts up in 22. So it's like an 8-frame gap. So you just kind of have to delay what you're doing a little bit to like make sure. But if you delay too much, obviously you get smoked by light knee. Okay. All right, so the options when he does it in neutral. First of all, you can DI it, but you probably can't DI light very easily. So make sure you're listening for the heavy knee, or you're noticing that he's doing heavy or medium knee before you commit to that option. The second thing is, once he starts getting beat, the medium and heavy knee in neutral, then you just whiff punish. Right? Whatever you want. Okay. Alright, and then the third thing is, if you're going to check it with a button, which is a pretty stable option, just make sure you're doing a crouching button, and that should help you out a lot. Alright, let's move on very quickly to when he does this off of a button. I started the video by talking about the Bonchan special, which is this. Crouch medium punch into stand, or into heavy knee. It chips a bunch of drive meter, and is plus. Well, we know that, of course, if my opponent stands, not only is this no longer plus, it's -5. So if I have the dummy do this to me, I can kill him. I can do, you know, whatever, jab, into whatever, okay? And I think I can even... Pretty light. Okay. Alright, so if I stand, I can blow this up. So why does Bonchan, one of the best Sagat players, well, the best Sagat player on the planet, one of the top-ranked Sagat players, do this? Well, it turns out that there's kind of an interesting property here. First, I'm gonna crouch. I'm gonna block his crouch medium punch, crouching. I'm gonna block it crouching, and then I'm gonna stand. And I want to show you what happens. Block, then stand. Okay? I'm +5. I can punish. Block, I can punish. Okay? But watch what happens when I block the first 2 hits. So I'm gonna block the crouch medium punch and the first hit of heavy knee, and then I'm gonna stand up. Watch what happens. I'm -4. I'm the same frame advantage as if I block the whole time. So again, if I block crouching the whole time, I'm -4. If I block the first 2 hits of this sequence, crouching, and then stand up, I'm also -4. Which means Bonchan's counting on, he's seeing that you're crouching when he hits the button, right? He's probably hit confirming this, and then on block, he's like checking that you're crouching and going into this. So that even though, technically, I can stand up right away and get a punish, like I have to be ready to do that. So, of course, why wouldn't I just stand up every time I see him do crouch medium punch? Well, the reason you wouldn't stand up is because if you're going to block this, you need to be walking back. So let's talk about why it's actually totally fine just to walk back. We're going to set the dummy on just a really quick recording to walk back. And on block reversal, he's going to do that. Oops. Alright, so when he blocks something, he's going to walk back for a second. And the reason you would want to do this as a defensive idea with any character is, if I go like this, I'm -5, he gets the punch. Alright, so then the next layer of any, you know, this is such an obvious next thing, is, okay, how do I punish him from walking back so that I can set up heavy knee? Well, if I do my crouch medium punch into nothing, I can hit him with low short. But what I can't do is then combo that into either of his jabs. Even if I'm point blank. I can't reach. And crouch short is not cancelable. Right? So I go like this, I can't do anything. Alright, so what's the next layer? How can I really blow up someone if I know for sure they're gonna walk back? What if I do low forward? Oh, I hit. That's great. But again, I can't combo. And low forward is not cancelable. I can't do it into a special move. I can't do it into a super. I can't do it into drive rush. So what's the only other lows that he has? Well, he has this, which is 18 frame startup. So that's true. I can't do this. Which is a good option. Except, I want you to look down here at the frame meter. If I go for this, which I have to commit to, making a guess, there is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm not even going to count all the frames. 20 frame gap that my opponent can do anything and counter hit me and blow me up. So this is almost never a good option. Even if you have a strong read, this is a crazy option. Alright, so to review. If he's trying to stop me from making him walk back because he doesn't want to get hit by this +4 situation, then I can't low short, I don't get anything. I can't low forward, I don't get anything. What am I supposed to do? And the answer is Sagat is nothing. I could do something like this. But my walk speed is so slow, even if I try to chase him down for a throw, it is very difficult. Right? I'm just like holding forward. So this right here is not at all a trick or a trap. If you have a Sagat player who's doing this to you, just stand block it. As soon as you see that crouching medium punch, just stand up and walk away. Do it like you should have done your ex-girlfriend, get out of there. And then of course, if he does like a different button, for example, or a different strength, then you just really kill him. Okay. So this is totally fake. I don't think that there's any reason to do this other than you're expecting your opponent not to be able to react. As we see this game go on, this sequence right here that looks really debilitating is just not real. Just stand up and block it and punish. There are a couple exceptions. You might be asking yourself, what if he doesn't do it off crouch medium punch? What if he does it off a longer range move like crouch heavy punch? And if he does that, he can go into light knee and not be punishable. And there's actually a very specific space where you can make this plus, I think, but it's very difficult to do. Right? Even if he's standing. So here, even, if you see him press this button, again, he can't check you from here for walking back. you can block this and walk back. Unless you're in the corner, and then, you know, I guess you have other problems. Other thing that I wanted to note off this, not only is this not real, you can actually blow it up really easily with an option select. Let me show you that if he's on block all, I turned him to jump. Is he on block all? Yeah. Okay, I want you to notice that if I do a button into lightning, that yellow bar down there just tells me that there's no space for him to reversal. He can't kind of interrupt it. If he goes heavy knee, again, there's no space for him to interrupt it. However, if he does heavy knee here, there is a little gap to interrupt it. So if I set the dummy to, let's say on block reversal, he just DIs. Okay. If I go off light, he can't interrupt it. If I go off medium, he can't interrupt it. But if I go off heavy, he can't interrupt it right in the middle and get a punish. So what does this mean? The way that you beat this shenanigan is super simple. I'll be the defender now. So sometimes he's going to do light knee, sometimes he's going to do medium knee, and sometimes he's going to do heavy knee. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see the button, and I'm going to walk back and mash DI. If my DI comes out, then it was heavy knee. If my DI doesn't come out, it's punish. I'm just mashing DI on all these. On heavy, I punish him. On the other ones, I also punish him because I'm walking back. Right? Maybe he does light or something, which he's about to, I'm sure. He's doing a lot of heavy. Right? I mean, it's like I just walk back, and then if he does light or whatever, I kill him. Alright, so don't get baited by that. I'm going to be playing Sagat a lot. I'm not trying to trick people. Bro, I'm going to beat you with my fundamentals. So don't get baited by this Tiger Knee stuff. We'll see if there's other setups. Just so you know, there are really good Tiger Knee setups for guaranteed plus frames on Oki and frame kills and stuff like that. So I'm not saying Tiger Knee is bad at all. And in fact, it is very difficult and debilitating to try to react to this in neutral all the time. But specifically off the button, it's not real. And as people get better and better, you're not going to be able to just do this anymore. The spacing is going to be too difficult, and there are options to counter it. You can whiff punish light, much easier than you can whiff punish something like Burn Knuckle, because this has 18 frames of recovery. And the medium and heavy versions, he yells Tiger, which indicates to you to press your big old drive impact button. Alright, hope this is helpful.